execution are equally important in taking down whichever team you want to take down. And in this case, NGX has to really step up, right? Maybe that first step is to being on blue side, since game number 1, they were on blue side. They actually had a decent performance against Keep Best Gaming up until they got really outplayed by Anran. But I think they are going to be much more ready right now, starting with a focus on the Ton's champion, which is the Vi that landed the MVP in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the Vi is one of those really high impact junglers that you cannot afford to lose track of, basically. If the Vi gets a very big lead at the start, just like the Ton got in the last game, then
3-0, right?
Yeah, it was basically going to be the Vi show. It was the Ton show for most of the match until Anran 9 and Xiaoma started getting their own damage up, and at that point it was a little bit too late there. But Enigma Galaxy opting to first pick the Alistar over the Gragas, which kind of makes sense to me because the Alistar was a huge tool for KBG to keep the rest of the team safe in the last couple of games.
I mean, 3 consecutive games that Enigma Galaxy has faced KBG, Yu has picked up this Alistar and has shown to be really effective under his hands. And right now, NGX wants to deny it from him, is going to be giving this Gragas away to KBG. They will have the isolation, but one champion has slipped through, in which KBG has won miraculous games, saved multiple times this tournament with this champion itself for KG. The Fiora is now under his hands.
Oh wow, that is a very high impact pick for KBG. I mean, at this point, Enigma Galaxy, they chose not to ban that Fiora in order to ban the Vi out, and KBG took full advantage of that. Now KBG is pinching Hyde's champion pool. I struggle to see how Enigma Galaxy is going to get themselves out of this one, out of this hole, because right now putting KG on a Fiora is basically a death wish here for Hyde, unless he picks something like a Garen, which can stay very safe and, you know, is pretty stable in that top lane.
Poke is the way to go here, I think, for NGX. They have the Shot Blast, they have the barrages here from the Corki. But Kaisi is going to be let through here for Andran. He has been just really effective in utilizing this champion. And this kind of completes the damage chart here of KBG. Because look, they have the setups. They have the Gragas, of course, for it. They have the side lane control through the Fiora. They have the assassination capability through the Kha'Zix. And long-range pokes from this Kaisa. This is starting to be very scary.
I mean, it's not just starting to get very scary, it's starting to become a little terrifying here for Enigma Galaxy, though they are going to be picking up that Varus for Demon Kite and the Riven for Hyde. So this is a very high-risk pick for Hyde, because if he's not able to control that Fiora, the game is just going to start getting taken over by KBG, especially with the Zeri possibly picked up here for Anran 9, though he does choose to go for Illusion instead. I do believe that this Kaisa pick is going to be going to Xiaoma, just like the last game.
Interesting. They pick up the Illusion for Andran instead of the Zeri. It looks like they are taking notes from how Aaron operates with this champion. And looking at NGX's composition, right? This is a similar lineup that they had in game number 1 against JT, wherein they landed the victory through the massive poke that they had. And I want to ask you this, G10. In this composition, what do you think are going to be the win conditions here by NGX and KBG?
Alright, so Enigma Galaxy, they do have that Alistar, right? They need to be able to keep draw as their tip of the spear and make sure he gets some really good engages, right? And then Joshi, he has to be able to keep track of where that Han is going to be, pretty much. Poking is a pretty big part of the composition here for Enigma Galaxy, so they have to be able to whittle down those health bars before draw goes in, right, with Hyde, because that's going to be kind of the wombo combo, right? The headbutt pulverize into the broken wings, the stun, into all of the follow-up covenant from the Jace, the Corki, the Varus as well with the chains of corruption. Everything starts from whittling down those health bars into a headbutt pulverize. On the other side, KBG, they have a lot more on their they have a lot more of a win condition for them. They have so many ways to actually win this game. They do so much damage, but they are lacking in tankiness, right? So they have a Fiora in the top lane, Kha'Zix in the jungle, 2 ADs and a Gragas. Gragas is going to have to be the tip of the spear here for KBG, just like Draw is going to be for Enigma Galaxy. But this team fight, if KBG is able to jump on somebody, they get instantly deleted.
I like that you mentioned how KBG's composition doesn't really have that much front-time power or tankiness on their side, because NGX, they have massive pokes, right? So who's gonna tank the damage? It's only gonna be Yu, and big responsibility on him as well to be able to set things up as fast as he can in order to neutralize this comp of NGX.
Yeah, this is a very high-risk, high-reward composition here for NGX. They have a little bit more tankiness to them than KBG, I would say, especially with Joshi on the Jace. And Hyde with the Riven, he can be surprisingly tanky if he chooses to itemize that way, but of course Riven does want to go for some bruiser items instead. Still a little bit more of a bruiser than Fiora. But you can see KBG already from the start being very annoying, pushing in that lane in order to get a little bit of jungle control to delay Joshi. I love that macro movement from KBG, just so they are kind of pushing NGX in, applying as much pressure as they can pretty much at all times. And Yu actually had a 16 KDA with his Alistar pick in the last game. I don't think he died once. Yeah.
It's the Yu special, my friend. He is just so good at the support role, setting things up, and also managing to stay alive most of the time. That's a good knock-up, good poke as well towards Yu, just chipping down his HP bar while giving leverage to Joshi to clear out the rest of his camp.
At least Joshi is a little bit more safe right now. He's not going to be encountering Deton anytime soon. This jungle is going to be a little bit of a just kind of farm fest, really. No reason to risk things that shouldn't be risked until at least the objectives. And although Joshi risking it a little bit here, Xiaoma.
You have a plan.
He's isolated.
Good shock blast, flash out Xiaoma just to stay alive, as Yu is not there to protect him. But that will give NGX a couple of plates here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it is at least some pressure from NGX, answer back to everything that KBG has been doing, at least in this early game. But that does show him there in the mid lane, giving that ton a lot of information. Now he's got open.
Big burst calling gonna be used as well. The flash, Aaron survives with 1 HP. My god, that was so close.
That was a very, very cheek-clenching exchange there for Aaron. He was, I think, literally 1 HP almost.
Oh yeah.
And ran 9. Maybe the target here, Joshi from the back.
Needs to be very careful though. The Dawn is here, hammer form, just to push back this Kha'Zix if ever he commits. And they're both fine right now. Man, the tension is building very early into the game.
Yeah, the tension is already there. Enigma Galaxy, they cannot afford to be passive, but they have to be super calculated in the way that they approach this game, the way they approach their offense. Look at how Hyde is just freezing that lane. He knows that he cannot afford to mess it up. He cannot afford to be a little bit aggressive and give that Fiora the leverage that he needs to get any sort of lead. Because if KBG gets like a little bit of a lead, we saw it from the last game, they will snowball. They will translate that into more and more leads, and they get more aggressive as their gold lead goes up.
Yeah, and they don't want that to happen. NGX doesn't want that to happen to KBG once more, similar to game number 2. They're playing it more safely right now, which is a good sign because they have massive scaling towards the late game as well. The items will allow them to chip more damage towards KBG through the pokes and just create some distance as they try to poke them down. Right now, it's a slight rotation towards the bot side. Xiaoma might need to be a lot more careful as top side Hyde is taking a bit too much damage from the grand challenge here of KG, but it's not too scared at all. Still going in, but needs to be extra careful because the Dawn is here. There's a slow, there's a jump. Hyde will get taken down, and KBG gets first blood.
That is the most dangerous first blood that you can give. Daton once again. This Kha'Zix, Feast or Famine champion, right now, he is in step 1 of the feast. He's in the appetizer portion at the moment, and he's gotten that taste for flesh, that taste for blood. And with Hyde being the one that was killed, there was so much value there because now there's a lot of free time for KG to just farm up there, get a plate, And even though Enigma Galaxy are trying to answer here with some pressure in the mid lane, it really is not going well for them, especially since now this dragon is being contested.
NGX gonna be trying to prevent KBG to get this initial objective. They don't want the consolation prize of the RH. They want this scaling objective and deny it from Keepa's Gaming. They need to be very careful. This is a very dimly lit area. No information, no vision whatsoever, but it's starting the dragon. That's a cast for the isolation play. Good knock up here by Draw. They're trying to take down Yu. Not much kills just yet. Chain of corruption to land onto the back line, but Thought will still get the steal onto the Mountain Dragon. KBG will land the strikes as well onto Enigma Galaxy. They're trying to run away, but they're not being allowed to do so. Kiting, not gonna be that much effective, but a good damage coming in here from high. Analyst goes in, but the damage so pure. That's out to get Yu instead. It's a 2 for 2, and KBG gets one bonus. Good arrow coming in from the Varus, and NGX wins the fight.
KG, the fight isn't over yet. He's gonna be coming in.
He wants more. He wants to get that kill onto Demon Cap, but no! Slaps him with another arrow, and more kills for NGX.
That is a 3 for 2 all throughout the map. Enigma Galaxy did get the upper end of that with 3 kills, but that's Han. He just booked it. He just went straight for the rail. He was like, all right, you guys can fight. If you want to get greedy, that's fine. But I'm going to use this time to get another objective for us. So let's take a look at that again. Because that was such a messy fight. It all started with you get caught out there. And then that chain of corruption wasn't really capitalized on by Enigma Galaxy. They chose to focus onto the dragon. But then a huge steal coming in from that taunt. And then look at this. They were just on the back foot trying to run for their lives. And I feel like this could have been a little bit more clean by KBG. Anran could have been not caught there, forcing Yu to sacrifice his life for them. Or it could have been a little bit of more of a miscommunication. Yu really didn't have to go there if he knew that Anran 9 had his E up. But, you know, it is what it is. At least KBG, they're still capable of making mistakes, but that's a big play.
Good damage. Cask gonna be used to try and buy some time, but they are gonna be able to get the skill onto you. Your perfect timing and follow up by NGX.
That was huge from Enigma Galaxy to actually have the presence of mind to secure that kill onto you. But at the same time, the second charge of Shelly right into the mid lane tower. KBG, even though they're losing in kills by 1, they are up in towers for the first tower. Will fall and give its full potential to Xiaoma.
This is going to be a little difficult here for NGX, right? Because KBG, even if they lose members, they're still the one leading in terms of goals. Through the towers, through the RH. And we saw Datan getting double objectives, stealing the dragon away from Joshi and then getting the RH as well. That's why mid lane has been unlocked already at 8 minutes into the game. This is effectivity on efficiency again by Keepa's Gaming.
Yep, Keepa's Gaming is so incredibly effective at just the macro part of the game. They're so smart, so very efficient with their movements. Even if somebody is trying to make a play in the bottom of the map, they know that that will distract Enigma Galaxy. So they are going to put some other resources in the other lanes. But right now, it is going to be 4 members of KBG trying to dive up here in the top lane just to take the turret. Joshi goes back in.
They went in, but KBG are happy with the tower already. Draw is lingering here onto this area. Wants to go in, but gets denied here by Yu with a body slam. Good arrow connects onto KG and Datan. They're happy with that already, and NGX doesn't want as well.
Yeah, but then look at where Anran 9 is in the mid lane. He's like, all right, all 5 of you are going to go up there. I'm going to stay here, get some pushes going. Get, this Scuttle Crab value. So much efficiency in the way that KBG is run around the map. But that also means that they're never in a 5v5 state. Enigma Galaxy, if they cotton on to that fact, if they're able to say, oh, you guys are there are 4 of you. We are going to bring all 5 of us and go for a positive fight for us. That could be a big mistake for KBG, but so far, it is just a kind of a cat and mouse situation here, but KG taking a lot of damage.
The bait is real constantly from KBG. Look at the positionings there on the players, right? KG is drawing attention from Aaron, but On is there lingering in the area, just waiting if ever Aaron is going to be catching the bait. That has been the operation of KBG for the entirety of the series. That's why we see them being so efficient on the rotations as well, getting towers whenever they see a movement from NGX. They get something on the other side, and that has been helping them build this 2,500 gold lead at 10 minutes.
Yeah, right now NGX are just being run around the map, even though they technically have the kill lead. KBG doesn't care. They're like, all right, we're going to get more money from just being more efficient with the macro. We want more towers rather than kills, and that'll make us strong. And right now, that means that KBG are the first to challenge this Ocean Drake.
They need to challenge this Ocean Dragon. They cannot give a chance for KBG to get a double objective here, double Dragon stack that will help them increase their durability and their sustain as well. NGX though, they have limited time. The package is sticking here for Aaron. They need to commit. Don is a little bit forward, but lances spikes here onto Draw. Lots of damage coming in from Andron 9 as well. Draw is taking too much. And it's just the taster.
Yep, it is just a little bit of a taste, but boom.
Good knock-up, kind of good option, gonna be used. They get the Dragon still for KBG and NGX. They don't have any reason to stay anymore, but they're being chased down. They're not being allowed to escape once more. It's a deja vu moment by KBG as they get the kills. Demon Kite has nowhere to go, gets taken down as well. It's only just she remaining alive, but he's the only one to tell the tale, the story that the rest of the NGX was taken away.
That was absolutely beautiful from KBG. So dominant already in that one team fight. And at this point, if you're Enigma Galaxy, this is the point of no return. Let's take a look at that again, because that was just a very risky play coming in from Enigma Galaxy. Hyde, he really tried his best to steal that, but a little bit of a miss time there. Sealed his demise. Draw, he tried to run, but Hyde was trapped in the Dragon Pit. And then Shaola from the back. Look at that huge. Just so much damage already at this point in the game. And then Demon Kite just got jumped on. Joshi had to run away. Everybody evaporated from the side of Enigma Galaxy. And now KBG are on Baron.
Easy Baron take here by Keep Best Gaming. That's a calling being used here by Andron as well, just to chip down Aaron as well. Absolute dominance here by Keep Best Gaming. NGX had the poke. They should have been able to, manipulate the positions here of KBG. But G10, how do you think KBG was able to just get those hard engages?
I mean, it was a very big mistake from Enigma Galaxy. They didn't come in as a team. They had High going first, desperately trying to go for the Drake, and then Draw was not on the same page as him. He was off to the side fighting somebody else, while, Hyde was being focused as well as the Dragon. And then the Smite came down. His ultimate did not get the steal, and the rest of NGX, they just kind of followed at a little bit too late at the time. And KBG, they know when a mistake like that is made, they can instantly capitalize on it. They just jumped on everybody. Of course, Yu was a big factor there, because he was the one who's providing that big frontline burst. Now, and not burst, but like CC. And look at how much they're choking Enigma Galaxy in their own base right now.
Void Seekers by Shama hurts by a big margin. Killer Instinct into the kill. Even the Daton jumps in. That's a stasis. Gonna be used. Good isolation with a casket for you to save the life of Shaoma. And to get that free kill. Gets the inhibitor as well in mid lane. Top lane gonna get destroyed as well. And KBG, they just want to end this game as swiftly as possible. Teleports coming in. That's the Fiora.
It's not even 14.
Here by KG. Oh man, yeah, it's not even 14 minutes into the game, but KBG is wanting to end this right now. They want the match point. Desperation play comes in from Draw. He goes in with the knockup, gets obliterated in an instant as KBG just muscles through, but they need to be very careful. They need to back away. NGX still pushing the punches here against them. They will save the game for at least a little more time.
Yeah, but their base is wrecked. Everything has been taken away from Enigma Galaxy, while KBG, they are sitting very, very pretty. 11,000 gold in the lead. Let's take a look at that again, because it all precipitated when Draw, he tried to go for a flash pulverized play, but then he forgot the headbutt part, and then he just got jumped on because he was isolated. The Q took his life, and yeah, even though it was a 1-for-1, Enigma Galaxy could not really capitalize on the rest of it. They were missing a member already. KBG knew that with their lower health bars, they had to run away. They had to kind of reset and then go back in for the next one, because, I mean, at this point, they don't even have to wait for the next objectives to spawn. There's Ice Drake coming in a bit. There's Aaron coming in after that. But if Enigma Galaxy fail to win a fight here, KBG could just end before those even spawn.
even if they get the steal onto Dragon, right? KBG is just too far ahead with 11,000 gold lead that they can just force a team fight once again and eventually end this game. That's how scary this composition is. And we talked about the win conditions earlier, right? The more flexibility, the more opportunities handed over towards KBG with this kind of comp makes them so difficult to take down.
It is so difficult to get any sort of positive impact against KBG here if you're Enigma Galaxy, because it's so oppressive. You have Xiaoma doing 1 billion damage with his Q, with his Void Seeker as well, and Anran 9.
They're going for it.
God, draw. Not again. This is a big mistake.
They're getting caught. Backline has been breached as well. Perfect cast. Surprisingly, some of the members, they get the cow and they want more. Killer Instinct into the backline as everyone gets obliterated. It's only High remaining alive, but it's not being allowed to hide anymore. As he's about to get taken down, manages to stay alive, but the next is the target. KBG is match point in the series.
3-2-0. KBG are on the verge of taking down Enigma Galaxy. What a dominant